we are ready to get started. So these are some pictures I took this morning. I was up late and I figured, hey, might as well stay up, catch sunrise, East Coast life. So these are the ones I selected out of the ones I took. I like this pier, so let's get started. And right away, there's a bunch of stuff in this I don't like that I'm gonna have to deal with. This pole, super annoying. This piece of like clothing or whatever, also pretty annoying. So I'll either crop that in or go into Photoshop and mask it out, things like that. Not sure yet, depending on how in love with the image I am. Alright, some basic lens corrections. We want to level out that horizon, I think. That's usually a good practice. Oh yeah, that's way off. Okay, that's pretty good. Doesn't leave a lot of room, but don't really need it. Okay, so I'm not super crazy about having the pier in the middle. I don't know, I kind of want it maybe a little lower in frame. So I think I'm going to crop this side in and up a little bit there. Then again, this might make another good wallpaper. I don't necessarily want to lose any of this length. I think I am going to go 16 by 9. And that way I can keep the length of the pier, but now I don't have to worry about a lot of this trash down here. I'll still have to Photoshop out this pole, but that's not really the biggest deal in the world. I can live with that. But I do want the pier to be lower. That's pretty good. Maybe just a little hair lower still. Let's just put the horizon on that lower third. That's pretty good right there. I like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Alright, but it needs to pop. We gotta make it pop. I should mention that this image, this one, and this one are all HDR composites. So 3 images, 1 stop apart, 1 underexposed, 1 properly exposed, and 1 overexposed. And then you just go into photo merge HDR and play around with the settings until it looks good. And all that does is just give your images more information to work with. Just for example here, the normal exposure, like for this image that was not HDR, the max you can go is 5 either way. And with the HDR'd images, you can go up to 10 stops under and over. So lots and lots and lots of information. Alright, so back to this one. Color casting, I like the blue. I might not like it that much. Maybe a little bit less blue. Yeah, something like that. Warm it up just a hair there. We still want to get these oranges out though. I'm pretty sure about that. We're gonna bump our vibrance now. Yeah. That's starting to look pretty good. I'm going mostly by the thumbnail at this point. Or I could like sit back. You gotta really take a step back. I love having this little thumbnail view because it's essentially the equivalent of taking a step back and looking at your work, which is super important. You can see we've got some little lens flaring artifacts from the lights up here. We might shop those out as well. That'll be fun. Not crazy about that one like airplane slash star. Doesn't really fit the scene. I think I'm gonna go ahead and bump these oranges up now before I do anything else. Boy, because I know they're there. I just want them to come out. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Maybe right about there. Maybe some of the reds. Yeah. Okay, so now we got some... I like this too. What is that? Purple? Bring that purple up. Can we bring the luminance of that purple up? That'd be cool. Alright, so we got a bunch of different colors working for us, which is like my favorite thing about sunrise and sunset. And it's just all the particles in the atmosphere getting reflected. It's really cool. Really cool stuff. And I mean, this picture would probably not look as good in black and white. No, not even close. Yeah, that color adds a ton. Alright, now what? I guess now we're going to do general toning stuff. So let's start with the highlights. Ooh, I like them down. Not that far, but like right there. Do I like that? I like that a lot. A lot more saturation out of it. Shadows might need to come up there, honestly. I'll probably bring the blacks down, but I'm going to bring the shadows up. Or maybe I'll do that backwards. The shadows down, blacks up. No, I don't like it. I almost never like bringing the blacks up. Almost never. But I don't need to bring them down too far in this one because we're already clipping in places. Not that it's super important. I don't know. I'm not super concerned about things like that, but that's probably not something I should just be openly admitting. Oh well. We're gonna bump our clarity just a hair, just to see how it looks. Just a hair. I want to bump it all the way up and see how I like it, and then find some halfway point. Yeah. See, the thing about clarity is it just gives it too much of that like HDR punch, and it's not exactly what I'm going for. Maybe, like just a little bit there. But even then, I'm not sure we need it. Oh, you know what? It does help the background. Yeah, we're gonna hold on to that. That's pretty cool. Whites. What do we do with the whites? Are there even any? Oh yeah, there's some there. We can bring them up a bit. Why not? Yeah, I feel like this image might be just a little bit too dark in some places, which is why I wanted to bring these shadows up. That's pretty good, I guess. What would it look like if I flipped it? Well, people know the sun doesn't rise that location, so probably not great. I don't know. Trying to think my way through what I want to do next with this guy. Like, I like the colors, and the composition's kind of interesting. I'm cool with the crop. Do I just have to Photoshop out that pole, and then I'm done? That doesn't seem right. I'll go ahead and get rid of this guy, because it'll be easy. Oh, maybe it's this one? Yeah. Scroll down to change your size. Yeah, and that's going to heal that right away. I think I might try to do the same thing with these little lens flares, if I can. If not, I'll have to do it in Photoshop. Let's see how good that looks. Not great, but I think better than before. Maybe bring the size of this one up a little bit. Not that much. Oh yeah, gotta be careful. Do not want to include any of like the other color there. Tricksy hobbits. Maybe like that. I think if you line up the wave there. Oh, it's still there, man. What am I gonna do? Drag it over? Is that right? Do I like that? Not particularly. Oh, I'm not having a great time right now. This stuff. Oh wow, that was at 100%. I was like, let me zoom in, maybe it'll help. Where'd it go? Well, that's a good sign, right? If I can't find it. I think it was like right here. Nope, over here. Okay. Well, yeah, that looks okay. This one's probably not gonna work, but we're gonna try it anyway. Gotta line that up just right. I don't think this is gonna work. It's not working. Yeah. We'll just have to do that one in Photoshop. Not a problem. Wow, we need to do some sharpening, I think. Just so we can actually like see what's going on maybe? Why is this so like blurred? Oh, that's too sharp. That's way too sharp. What was my ISO? 200? What is going on here? I thought I was focused pretty close. It was only 1:1. It shouldn't be that. It should be sharper than that. A little bit of noise reduction, maybe. Just do a little bit more. Yeah, okay, that cleans it up a bit. What now? More contrast? More contrast. Just a little bit more contrast. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I don't know. I'm wondering if the orange might be standing out too much or not enough at this point. I think it might behoove me to kind of expand that influence. So where it was just down here, now we're going to have it come up. Like there. We're going to invert that. I just have it black so I know what it's hitting. So that's just exposure -4. So for that, we're going to give it like I think we're just going to, if we warm it up, it's not going to look that good. It's just going to neutralize that up there. Unless we really pump it. And that is too much. That is just too much. We're not trying to do that. I think what I want to do with that one is give it like kind of an orange cast there. No, not that. Yeah, that's not bad. That kind of helps to blend the blue and the orange a little bit more together, maybe? I mean, I probably like it a ton more with than without. Yeah, because we've already got a lot of blue, and this brings more of that like pinkish magenta tone out of the clouds. I like that a lot more. Okay, we're getting somewhere here. I might actually expand that. That looks really good. Yeah, I'm gonna make that bigger, wider. That's pretty good. And then the blue kind of works as a vignette. which is neat. I can bring these oranges back down now, because they are a little too much. Just a hair. Or a lot. There we go. That's a little bit more realistic, I think. We're gonna bring these blues down too. Just a touch. Or not. Come on. Just a tap. Don't be scared. It's okay. Yeah. It's just to make it look more natural. I like it. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what I really like is these reflections in the water here. That's nice stuff. What else to do with this one before we send it to Photoshop for the retouch? I think this one might be done for now. Yeah, I don't want to do any vignetting because I love how it goes just from like dark to light there. Draws you right in, which is really cool. And it's like basically vignetted everywhere else I need it to be. So we're gonna go down in here. Maybe increase, no, we don't want to increase the detail anymore. But we do want to take this into Photoshop and use our content aware fill. Edit in Photoshop. Okay. Now I gotta see if the stream software is set up to catch this. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Alright, so now we're going to clone the layer just in the sake of being non-destructive. And all we want to do Alright, so now is lasso around this area here, just to get a rough cut, and we're going to go to select, no, boy, it's been so long since I've photoshopped anything. Edit, fill, content aware. And we're just going to see if that works. I can't tell. Looks great to me. And we're going to do the same thing for this little area here, but it's probably not going to work. We can also do Shift F5 as a shortcut for the fill. Yeah, see, no, that's not going to do it for me. I think we're going to have to go in and manually like spot heal that one. So we're going to zoom way in, way closer than I'm comfortable with. And what tool is good here? This healing brush, I think, is the one. So you hit Alt to basically pick a source area, and then it'll show you what it's going to look like when you start clicking. And then when you do start clicking, it'll show you the old area. Ugh, boy, this is going to take... Okay, so that's not going to work. We're going to have to like clone over that. We'll try the patch tool first. If we can just take it... No, opposite way. So we take sections of this and just drag them up. That's not going to do it either. Boy, we really need to hard stamp something down there just to fix it. Content aware move tool, is that a thing? I want to try that. No, that's, hang on. Other way. If I select a whole bunch of this and just drag it down to here, what does that do? Something. We're getting closer here. Alright, so if I do this and drag it to like here, hey, we are actually doing something with this. I mean, it's not perfect, don't get me wrong. But it looks a heck of a lot cleaner than it did a second ago. I like that tool. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've photoshopped. We're going to do the same thing up here. Just going to grab it along the edge, grab a patch of it, and just bring it on down. Hit enter. Yeah, nice and clean. Yeah. Good stuff, good stuff. Anything else we need to change over here? I'm not sure I like this like lump in the sand, and now I feel all powerful because of content aware. So I'm just gonna grab like this chunk of sand here and drag it on over. Oh, that's interesting. Why did it do that? Why does it mess with the source area? Was it doing that before? Clearly I don't understand how this thing works. What if I do that and drag it over here? Same thing? It just moves it? Oh, it's a content aware move tool. Duh. Man, that was not smart. Not my proudest moment. We are just gonna lasso around this bit though, and try the content aware fill again. And that looks pretty good. Alright, so we got lucky in that the content aware move tool actually worked for the pillars there. Sort of, I guess. But maybe not the best tool to use in all cases. I don't know. So there's the before and after. Oh yeah, just a lot of those little annoying things cleaned up. The world is a softer, more organized place now, and I like it. So we're gonna flatten it, save it, and bring it back to Lightroom. So Lightroom, there we go. Alright, and I mean, there's the before and after, but that's gonna be the same picture because it makes a copy of it. So if I can send this back to the beginning and set that as the reference, then we can check between the two. Alright, so we'll go to this one and check out the reference view and the actual. That's not bad. I mean, it's definitely a lot cleaner without all that stuff in the way. I feel like the center and left third of the image have a nice golden tone, and then it's surrounded by this calm blue magenta. It's got a good feel to it. It really captures the spirit of like that dock and that pier and the beach in the morning. It's calm, it's quiet, there weren't many people around. Yeah, I think this definitely wound up where I needed it to. If we go over to the other one and look at the actual before and after, I think we'll be pleasantly surprised. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. For sure. What else? Boy, I don't know. I think that might be it. Alright, we're gonna call that one, not that one. We're gonna remove that one from the quick collection. This one is done. I like it. I'm not gonna touch it for at least 30 minutes. And we're gonna move on to the next picture. This one I feel like has a ton of potential because I love the framing. It's obviously a little angled right now, but I like the gradient from like really bright on the left, really kind of neutral on the right. Gives it this nice powerful serene. I love the tones. Boy, are there some nice pastels in here. Like all these pinks and oranges and yellows. Great stuff. great stuff. So we are going to definitely get into this one. And I don't think it's going to take much, to be honest with you. I think we just are going to need to make sure it's like centered. Make sure the rails are going off at the same distance from the bottom. Stuff like that. I don't know if that's even going to be actually possible. Ooh, you know what? We forgot to do lens corrections. Let's bring those in real quick. Because this was pretty wide. Yeah, that does it. Alright, so we'll try angling it again. I think it's still going to be the same. Yeah, so we definitely want the horizon to be straight. Everyone likes a straight horizon and such. I don't necessarily need all of this in the top. So what I can do, I don't know why I scooted that over. I need that to stay centered. I'm going to bring that down just a bit. Maybe a bit more. I kind of want that horizon to maybe be on that upper third. I mean, that is kind of cutting it in kind of close. That might be a little bit more than I bargained for. Yeah, I lost too much of the sky with that, so we're going to bring that up a bit and just 100% center like this chair and such. I think that's probably the best framing for this. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Now we can get started on making it look pretty. So I'm going to bring the blacks down, because I know it needs it, and I like doing it. And that's too much, and right there's good. And it needs a little clarity. Yeah. More vibrance, because why not? We're probably going to bring the highlights down, just to catch more of that like same kind of tone in the sky, and get a little bit more color out of it. Shadows can come down, or come up, or stay right where they are. I don't know, sometimes with these HDR images, they're just not the sharpest. It can be hard to tell. So we are going to bring the detail up, detail panel, and bring up the sharpening. And I want this to be sharp. Boy, that looks weird with the, got like a glow to it. I don't know if that's probably because of the HDR. That's probably some leftover artifacting from that. So that's not good. But boy, does it let us get a lot of detail out of this image. More clarity. Clarity and sharpness, and that can really help you save like a slightly grainy or out of focus picture. Sometimes I like to go all into it though. If it's a little grainy or out of focus, then I'll just like add tons of grain and make it really like extra sharp and make it look like old film, change like the tone curve and stuff like that. But I don't think this is the image for that effect. So we are going to try to bring up these like bluish teals. I think those will help. So we're going to go back into our HSL and bring the saturation for that up, if we can. No, that's magentas, and that does not look good blown out of proportion. Yeah, we're not going to have any like aquas or teals, so best next thing we can do is bring up the oranges. That looks sexy. Ooh, who doesn't love a good orange cast like that? Wow. I like it a lot. We need to bring these greenish yellows down. We're just going to bring the greens down. Yeah, because we don't want that to be distracting. Can we bring the yellows down too, or is that too important in there? It's definitely affecting those plants more than the sky, so I think we can bring them down safely. I think it's just mostly oranges up in here, which is cool. I love orange. Speaking of orange, we're going to mess with the color temperature and see if something else will make it look better or worse. Depending on what kind of colors we want. Wow, we can get all kinds of different colors out of this. This is great. I think we want to go something more... That's beautiful. Right there. And then, I don't think it needs any more green to it. No, that's going to throw it off. The magentas are nice, but we don't need too much of it. Maybe just leave it where it was. Yeah. That's pretty nice. I like that. Oh, dang, I'm just now realizing I forgot to split tone this one, but I'm not sure I needed to. This one I might want to split tone just a little bit, maybe? I don't know, maybe put some pinks in the highlights? Some blues in the shadows, see how that looks? It could be interesting. It'd be very interesting. Why don't we give it a go? Highlights, I said some kind of pink, which I think yeah, something like that. And shadows, kind of like a teal blue. Yeah, something like that. So that's that nice, wow, like 80s retro kind of thing going on, which is cool, but boy, is that just blown out. Okay, that's nicer. We don't need that much pink, but we do need a little bit. Let's see. Without, with. Without, with. Yeah, it gives the whole picture just a lot more unity. I like it. Boy, a little bit of color grading goes a long way. I did a video edit recently, and I was playing around with some color editing there, and boy, let that be a lesson to you not to color tone while you're tired, because I woke up the next morning and it was terrible. It was way oversaturated. The colors were completely unnatural and totally blown out. And I mean, in photography, you might be able to fly. Make that fly. What is this? What is all this? I bet if we just dehaze that, it'll fix itself. I actually want to invert that so I can see what the hell I'm doing. About there. And about there. Alright, and we're just going to increase the dehaze until that goes away. Yeah, that might need to be a little bit bigger. That looks good. Better anyway. That was distracting me, I'm sorry. We're going to go in and clean up some of these little spots here. Just to make the image a little cleaner. We're going to leave like some of them, but I don't want a lot of them. So like this one I want to get rid of. And these tiny little things, the spot healing tool is great. That's why I love using it. But if it's in a tricky spot, like right next to a ledge or an edge or something like that, then you gotta deal with something a little more complicated, like something in Photoshop and content aware fill. Wow. Really? You think that's the best place to pull that from? I guess I shouldn't argue with you. You're specifically designed for this. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of some of these other... yeah, no. No. It was trying to sample another black spot on top of it. That's not gonna fly. Okay, so we're almost done with these little railings. I don't want to fuss around with this too much. Just a few little spots here and there. I just want to make sure there's nothing like glaringly distracting, and that it kind of was for me anyway. Ugh, this one down here too, and that's going to be kind of a bitch to get rid of. So maybe if it'll just take the next section down though. Hey, you the man, Lightroom. Okay, okay. Do I want to take out this sign? I think I do. It doesn't really look good. No one will notice if I take it out. That's not bad. Yeah, we're gonna edit this in Photoshop. Do I want to do anything else to it first, though? No, I love the colors of this one. It's really pretty, to be honest. Maybe bring the shadows up a bit, actually. I feel like a lot of that gets lost. And we can bring the blacks down a little bit more. Not that much. And then how does that look in comparison? Lighter. Definitely lighter. It needs clarity. Everything needs clarity, not that much. Maybe that much. Alright, now we're going to go edit this in Photoshop. So I'm going to switch over to Photoshop here. There we go. Open that on up. Alrighty. And copy the layer to be non-destructive. And we want to let's get the polygonal just to be clean about it. Could have cut that in a little bit closer, probably should. Alright, and if we just fill that, will it work? God, wow. I mean, I probably could have cut that in a little bit closer too. So we're gonna zoom it way in. Zoom in like uncomfortably close. Just bring that right across there. Up there. Over there. And back down. Shift F5, content aware. Okay. Like it never happened. That's good stuff. That's all we need to do with that. Unless I want to try and figure out some way to fix this like ghosting we got here. Oh boy, I mean the only thing I really could do is like dodge it down or something, but maybe it's supposed to be like the light hitting it. Yeah, that's what it is. Sure. Why not? It totally makes sense. Flatten image. File, save. Alright, close that. Come back to Lightroom. And now, let's see. Go back to the other one and look at the before and after. Just to get an impression of how far we've come. It's always important to look back and see where you came from. Oh yeah. See, I knew it was there. I knew I could find it. That pink-blue shift. It's pretty 80s, like, but I like it. There's something very like Vice City about this picture, and I love it. I might get this one framed, or at least printed. That's pretty. That'd look great on metal. But I say that about literally everything. Kind of a stickler for metal prints. They're great. Alright, so now we've got this guy. We've got this guy. We're gonna go back here and color split tone thing it, because I forgot to do that earlier. So we want like oranges in the highlights, blues in the shadows. But not that much, and more towards the highlights. And see, all that does really is just add just a blue tint into these shadows, and it just gives the whole image just this feeling of cohesion. There we go, and without, with, without, with. Yeah, cleaner. Just a lot more professional, really. This one, I mean, that color toning the split toning there. Oh, well, on the original, it made the world a difference. Alright, so now we're going to move on to another one, similar shot of the pier. This one's a little bit trickier because we don't really have a horizon. The pier's blocking it, but the pier's not the same angle as the horizon. So I think what we're going to do instead is just go like up and down on like this pole. And see if that looks good. Yeah, this one I wanted to be like pretty much all about the sky. Like you could still see the pier, but it wasn't going to be all about the pier. That looks pretty good. Do some lens corrections. Maybe that's too much. Maybe that needs to come back. Maybe that looks better. Maybe it does. What do I know? I do know I cannot keep forgetting to turn off flux. I really wish I'd set like a reminder for myself at some point. So that still looks good. I still like that. Okay, so flux wasn't really messing with me too hard this time, but boys, there have been times where it's just thrown me off entirely. Alright, what to do with this one? That is the question, isn't it? We got a lot of good bones here with all these colors, all this orange and red. I wonder if we could bring these blues up too. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with another like orange teal split tone for this one. I can already feel it. Up the contrast, not that much yet. Bring those shadows up so we can see what the heck is going on. What is that? 800 ISO? Yeah. Yeesh. Let's can we do noise reduction now? Whoa, too much. Then you need it to be sharp too. That looks pretty good to me. Alright, clarity, as usual. Highlights up or down? Highlights can pretty much stay mostly where they are, a little down, I guess. Whites probably gonna stay where they're at. Or I could bring them up a bit. Bring them up a little bit. That actually looks pretty good. Blacks, again with the blacks. I could go artsy with it. No, we won't do that. Where am I losing detail? In the bushes and such? Yeah. We don't need to have that. We don't need that clipping. That ain't for us. I do want to up the vibrance just a hair, because I always do. That's what I do. And then before I get too far ahead on this one, I want to do a quick check. Okay, so we just boosted it a little bit. It's nothing too crazy here. Maybe we could bring the shadows down still. Maybe that doesn't need that detail. Maybe it is supposed to be more of a silhouette. maybe that's a little bit more dramatic. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Okay, is that too much? Did I go too far? Yeah, I think a lot of that foreground detail is pretty extraneous, just bringing it down to black. I think it makes it a stronger image. Yep, yep, for sure. Alright, now we're going to work with white balance, because I forgot to do that. See what looks good. Probably something, probably around where it's at. Yeah, no, too much blue. Maybe like right there. Did that even change? Oh yeah, that's more blue. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. We don't need to mess with the HSL so much, except to maybe bring the blue up a little bit in saturation. Blue and aqua. And that's just in the hopes that some of this sky here comes forward. But we are going to do our split toning. Bring both of those way the hell down. Okay, I do want some of that blue. But I want some of that orange to come back. That needs to be more yellow. Does that look good? I think I might have liked it better before. I don't know. Gives it kind of more of a purpley tone in the top. I kind of like that. I think I might be done with this one. I don't really want to do too much else with it. This piece of sky is distracting. We're going to just replace it with another piece of sky nearby. A better, more behaved piece of sky. Let's see if it looks any good or not. Now, see, that's the thing about these big areas, is they can look like shit. It's good for little tiny areas, but we may not want to mess with that too much unless we bring it into Photoshop. And even then, I'm not 100% sure it's worth it. But it is, so I'm going to go switch you on over to Photoshop here. Alright. I don't know what that sound was, but I'm assuming it means it worked. Alright, we're just gonna grab some areas around this. Content where fill it. I forgot to do a non-destructive layer. And that's not the best in the world. But it isn't noticeable either, so we're gonna just save it, close it. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. And back to Lightroom. Alright, so we're gonna close that other guy out, because this is the edit. Alright, 3 out of 4 down. Let's go back to our library tab and just give it a look-see. Yeah, I think we've got some pretty good, like, travel, vacation kind of themes going on here. Looks good. I mean, there's different moods for all of them, too. This one's definitely more of a morning. This one, it is a sunrise, but the tone of it is more neutral, which is great. And this one's definitely got like a, I don't know, it's sunrise, but it's got a sunset feel because of the silhouetting. But it looks, it's got a darker, more evening tone to it. And this one, I think this one's going to be more commercial all around. Just, I mean, it's a commercial building. I just happen to like how the light reflected off the windows, and I want to see how much I can actually play that up. So here we're going to find out. We're going to do some lens corrections, and then instead of aligning it, I think what I want to do is go straight into the transform tab and have these lines be vertical. And these lines, well, I can do a bunch. I can just make sure that all of these lines are vertical. Or not, which is fine. But I do want those two at least, I guess. I don't know, that looks straight up and down to me. What did it look like before? Tilted back more? Now it's a little more forward, I guess. I don't know, do I even need that? No, that looks weird. I think what I'm going to do instead is just align it to, like, have this be straight up and down. Yeah. And I can already tell you we're going to clip or crop this way in. Alright, now it is the focal point. Great. Oh, why is it so crooked? I'm not digging it. Alright, that's better, I guess. That's a weird picture. But I like that, and I think it has a lot of potential. So, we're probably going to do another blue-orange thing, but we'll save it for later this time. We're going to do some detail. Make sure this is sharp. Yeah, nice. I like that. We brought our ISO down for this shot. Good stuff. Good stuff. What else? Toning. Duh. Okay, so we'll first do color temperature kind of thing. We don't want it to look too... Yeah, I want the blue and the orange. So, right about where it was, yep. A little more contrast, why not? Exposure? Exposure looks good. Maybe up a hair? Yeah. Highlights. We don't want them to be too distracting, so I kind of like them where they're at. Shadows. We'll bring those down. Whites. Those can come up a little bit, just in the sake of brightening, though. Brightening without brightening it overall. And then the blacks we gotta be careful with. Bring them down a hair, but really not too much further. Bump the clarity, bump the vibrance. And already, we have got something cool brewing. Yeah. I don't know, I liked the asymmetry of the glass here. Like how there's just not glass in all of these, or it wasn't reflective. I don't know. I thought that was really interesting. And I think I am going to do a little radial filters. I think we're gonna just cover the building here with a nice orange tone. So invert that so it's just that. And we'll just give it this nice orange cast. We want to hide it a little bit better than that. We don't want it that orange. We want more of a yellow orange. No, not that. Too much green in that. Yeah, something more like that, I think. Little bit more subtle. Alright, I'm gonna throw a huge filter, radial filter around the building. And that's just gonna be like vignetting and such kind of things that are going to draw more attention to the building than everything around it. I don't know, just gotta keep sliding things and see how it looks. You gotta be real careful with the blacks. Slider. It can get out of hand real quickly. Like it can already you can see how much we're clipping. That's too much. We gotta bring the blacks back up here. Yeah. Oh man, I can see in these bushes all that information there was lost, so it's good that we brought some of that back. I think it's okay for a lot of that to be in the dark, because it is the background after all. Can we take that, this inside guy and add a little bit of dehaze? That's cool. I like that. Alright, and I think now all it needs is the split toning. Highlights, some kind of orangey do. So if you invert it, it looks cool. I don't know exactly what I'm going for on this one, to be honest with you. But that looks kind of nice. Way too much blue. Yeah, this one's tricky. I'm gonna bring it all the way back and see if I like these colors. It's subtle. I think I need to do more with this radio filter that's on the inside here. Like, bring up the highlights, make it like brighter. Something right around there looks pretty good. We just want to draw more attention to that area without making it like super obvious, you know? Alright, I think if I want this to work, I need to give it a little bit more space. It's kind of a big building, not that much space. That looks pretty good. Maybe up a little bit more. No, right there. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. And we are going to just apply a little bit of a vignette just to really bring it home there. I'll look at the before and after. It always, every single time, I love this part. That whole before and after bit where you see where you started, you were like, yeah, there were good bones here. And then you're there at the end and you're like, I found the good bones. And I did whatever you do with good bones to make good stuff. So I turned good bones into good stuff, and I'm happy with it. So let's go back to our library view and see where we wound up. Alright, so these are the 4 images we have, and I like them. I like them a lot. I wonder if we can get copies in here of the originals. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I want to do that. Just need to figure out how real quick. Let's see. 1020 HDR, so this one would be the original. No, 1023. Oh, well that's the edit. So that's the... Okay, well I've already got that, so I'll add this to the quick collection. What was the other one? Okay, got those two. This one was 48. I think that's this one. 48 edit. This guy. Okay, we'll bring him back in. This one is 51. Whoa, not all photographs. Yeah. And then this one is 60. Right, we'll have to make a copy of that one, because that's like the one I didn't mess with in Photoshop. Alright, so we'll just make a create virtual copy. Okay, so now for all these original ones, we are going to go in and revert. Just because I like this whole before and after viz. And it saves all your settings anyway. So that's the original there, that's the edit, that's the original. Come on, go away. Give me the reset. Alright. That's the edit, that's the original. Reset. And that's the copy. Yeah, this is the one we'll have to reset. Alright, now we'll go back to our library view and just admire the differences. I don't know. They're pretty, some of them are more subtle than others. I like them though. I like where they came, especially this one. I like good colors in there. I don't usually work with tones like that, like those pastels, so that was a good change. I knew they were there, and it's just a matter of shifting your perspective. I actually had to look, like the sun was rising. Like if you follow the pier, this horizon line, it was like here from this photo over here. So it's off screen. So I had to choose not to shoot the sunrise, which is what I came to shoot, and admittedly already had gotten pictures of, so I was already just looking for things to shoot before I headed out at this point, which is how I wound up shooting this walkway and this building here. Just shooting around. Good stuff. Yeah, but I'm gonna be posting these up on Instagram in the coming week or so. So definitely keep an eye out for them on there. And I think that's going to be it for the chat. We got 4 photos done in about an hour. That's some pretty good time. I like that. Might end up printing some of these. The colors are just so nice. Alright guys, well, it's been fun. I will see you later.